to One Quick Question with Infomedia, your source for answers to your questions about websites, digital marketing, and more. I'm your host, Carrie Rollwagon, and our guest today is Pam Sanderson. Welcome, Pam.
Thank you.
So tell people what you do here and maybe like how you spend most of your days.
I am the Director of Account Development, and I'm about to bore the life out of you. Most of my days are spent in meetings and working on emails, so not exciting stuff.
I mean, but exciting content within those things.
Yes,
right?
yes, exciting content, yes.
Well, speaking of exciting content, I was trying to make a segue, but I'm trying too hard. Let's talk about adding video to your website.
Okay.
A lot of people want to do it.
Mhm.
Why? Where do they start?
Well,
What's the deal,
they
Pam?
should do it. Video is great. It's a great way to engage with users. It's a great way to diversify your content.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Oh, well, people are more likely to sit and watch a video, especially if it's like an autoplay, like for instance, like a homepage video loop. We see that a lot now where it's like a 15-second clip or something that just loops over. It grabs people's attention. When we add one of those, there are 15 seconds, but we usually see the time on page go up more than a minute because
wow.
people will actually sit and watch it a couple of times.
Oh, cool.
So video is a great way, especially if you fall into the trap of you've got technical content or a lot of content, walls of content. Video is a great way to really succinctly say what you do in a very visual way. So people who most people fall into this, they don't read websites. I mean, Google reads websites, so it's still important to have content, but a lot of people aren't going to read a bunch of content. So a video, especially like a 30-second to 1-minute video, is a great way to get across what you're trying to say, show yourself as the expert on that subject matter in a way that's very easy for them to digest. Not only that, video is one of those things that's very multi-purpose. A video you use on your website, you can also use on social media. You could use in your sales tools. So like if you're pitching clients and you have a video about, why you should work with this company, that could work in that pitch deck. So video is something that highly recommend. Love it when people use it, especially when it's used correctly. But to answer your question, where to start typically is once you've gotten that video edited, you want to upload it to YouTube or Vimeo.
That doesn't sound like your website. Why would you do that?
Well, I can tell you. So we recommend that because when you do that, you can still embed the video on your website. It still can be played on your website. They don't have to actually go to YouTube or Vimeo. It still counts on your little counter on YouTube and Vimeo. But all the load of watching that video is on YouTube and Vimeo's side. It's not on your website. And what I mean by that is, so if you put a video on your website and a bunch of people are watching it all at once, that can slow down your website. And so to avoid that, you just want to make sure that that video is always on YouTube or Vimeo, which are built to have massive viewership. They are set up for that, and that you're not putting that strain on your actual website.
All right. So you actually mentioned some things like when video is not used correctly.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you just explained one way it's not. Like if you're putting it on your own site and it's hosted there.
Mm-hmm.
What are other things that you see that you would consider like a bad idea?
Long-winded or slowly paced videos.
Yeah.
So,
and
I'm
I'm
not
not all of them that don't have a script or
yeah.
Even if you're doing your own script, I think it's so easy to just talk and talk and talk.
It is. You want to make sure that if you've got a 6-minute video on your homepage, nobody's watching that. Nobody's sitting there for 6 minutes and watching a 6-minute video. You want to make sure that the videos are bite-sized, easy to digest, nothing that feels like a big time commitment, because people just really aren't going to do it. Now, in a blog post, if you're posting, maybe you've recently done a TEDx talk or something and you want to show that in your blog, I mean, that would be an exception to that rule. But just general like service videos or your small business about us video doesn't need to be a massive, long, huge video. You nailed the other one, not having a clear and concise script. Mm-hmm. If you're just rambling on, kind of like what I'm doing now.
No, I know. When I was talking about talking,
I
was like, am I
doing it? Am I doing it now? Yeah.
Because that should actually be a good thing.
We're
showing people what it is.
Yeah.
In case you've never heard anyone talk too much.
Correct.
Here you go.
Sorry. So not having a clear and concise, what do I want to say? Why am I saying this? What am I trying to convey? That can really put you down a dark hole fast. And then the other things is having really poor quality video. If you have a poor quality video, you're dating your website. And I'm not talking now. Sometimes, like if you record it on your phone in a vertical view and you're just recording something cool that happened, maybe you are in an industrial warehouse and y'all have just done something really cool. That's one thing. That's great on a blog post. That's great like in a social post. But when I'm talking like your homepage video or this is our service video and it's recorded poorly, the sound is poor, it's not been color corrected, things like that immediately will date your website because the video will just look older than it actually is. It could have been recorded last week, but we've all seen those commercials that you'll see from time to time, like local commercials, and they could have been recorded a week ago, but they look like they were recorded 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That stuff it's just not the best look. It doesn't give the best experience. And if you spend the money for video, spend the money to get a high quality video that is going to help your site, not hinder the experience.
Yeah, I see things that it's like if it shouldn't look like you could have done it on your phone.
Correct.
For the most part.
Yeah. It doesn't mean you can't do it on your phone, but it should look high quality.
Because even those commercials that show I feel like the phone commercials are like, look at all you can do. This was shot on an iPhone.
Right.
It's like, right, but a lot of times in those cases it was shot on an iPhone by a professional who understands light, who understands technique and things like that. Because when I shoot on my iPhone, it doesn't look like that.
Correct. And it's often edited, so it's color corrected. It's edited in a way that you're telling a story with that video, and it's not just like straight through. Those are things that really, those small details make a huge impact on the final product, and there are details that are often skipped that shouldn't be.
I will say one of my kind of like little hacks is whether or not I'm having something shot by professionals, a lot of times I will record it on my phone to see what I'm sounding like, because a lot of times I've seen clients hire outside of Infomedia, of course, and they don't like the video, even though the video is technically good, because they're like, oh, I do this weird thing, and I wish I would have known.
Yeah. And
I do think like recording yourself ahead of time can kind of let you see that before you've paid for a camera crew to come in.
Exactly.
And see like, oh, I need to stop. Like my hair looks weird. I need to stop doing this.
The same for your content. If you're hiring someone in to come in and you've written your own content, what you're going to say, record yourself saying it. Before that crew, you're going to set your timing better. You're going to understand your pacing better. I don't think you should memorize it because then I think you get too caught up on making sure every word is correct.
Yeah.
But making sure that you know that the content you've written actually makes sense and that the pacing is right for your video, those are important things to figure out before that crew gets there.
Well, say somebody's listening and they're like, I'm sold. I want video on my website. Where do you even start with that?
So if you're an Infomedia client, email me, call me. We'll start talking about it. If you already have video, we'll talk about the best place to add it to your website. If you don't, I'll tell you about we have an in-house video crew. Or if it's something that it makes more sense for you to record yourself, like a little social post, I'll give you best advice to do that. If you're not an Infomedia client, still call us because we can help you with content creation even if we don't do your website. So obviously we'd love to help you with your website, but if you don't need that, that's fine. We have a whole crew that's their only thing they do is content creation, whether it be actual copy, video, photography, etc. We have clients that we work with. Those are the only services we do for them outside of, we don't really work on their website. So we're happy to help no matter what it is.
Awesome. Well, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
One Quick Question is brought to you by Infomedia. Find show notes, including links to what we talk about on the podcast today at infomedia.com/quickquestion. Our producer is Elena Harmond. Our theme music is by Brad Davis. And our episodes are produced by Paul and Aaron at Infomedia Studios. If you need website support, marketing advice, or you're interested in building a new website, give us a call at 205-823-4440 or email quickquestion@infomedia.com.